And welcome back. Well, we're in the final few days of President Trump's administration. Want to put his administration in context with two presidential historians. Craig Shirley is a biographer of President Reagan, and we're also joined by Doug Wead. He is a former presidential advisor. He's also the author of Inside Trump's White House. Want to thank you both for joining us. I was just talking to Rick Grinnell about, juxtaposing President Trump with George W. Bush. Both men highly unpopular in their waning days of their presidency. George W. Bush being able to accomplish things long term, such as AIDS in Africa, what are the things that you think when historians take pen to paper and talk about the consequential nature of the Trump presidency, putting all the division aside from a policy standpoint?
Oh, the list is so long, it's hard to crowd them in a short soundbite, but let's take energy independence. 6 American presidents sought it, but Donald Trump got it. I mean, Ronald Reagan, Gerald Ford would have cut off their right arm to have energy independence and all the geopolitical advantages that gives. He started the walk back from China when he came into office, $550 billion trade deficit with China. They were stealing us blind in intellectual property. He knew he wouldn't get credit. He told me in an interview, I'll get no credit for this. I won't even be able to accomplish it. It won't be accomplished in my lifetime, but the process has to start. You look at NATO totally rebuilt and a modern organization. You look at the change of laws that allowed them to fire. There were employees in the federal government that would watch pornography for 6 hours a day, paid by the taxpayers, and they couldn't be fired. There were nurses that would leave a veteran on a gurney at the Veterans Administration Hospital to die and couldn't be fired. Donald Trump changed that. There's no going. What is Biden going to do? Move the embassy back from Jerusalem? Going to tear down the wall? He said he might. I doubt it. There's so much he's done. USMCA, there's no way they're going to go back to NAFTA after crafting the beautiful United States, Mexico, Canada treaty. And I could go on and on. I think he's going to be the most impactful president of our lifetime. The first president in 40 years not to have started a war or invaded somebody. Peace, that's worth something. 55 hostages he brought home that had been left to languish under Bush and Obama. I think he's going to eventually be discovered as a great president.
Craig, I'll come to you quickly because, to that point, you talk about President Trump, being impeached for the second time. People are talking about it's, unprecedented. But I think when the history books are written, this is really more a test of who we are and a test of how our government works. And it is necessarily an indictment of him. How do you see this playing out? Because, again, it's not necessarily that he was impeached, but how did we actually manage the impeachment? And was it done in a manner consistent with the legacy that is America?
Yeah, Joe, you hit the nail on the head. The impeachment process is becoming increasingly political. And I think when you deal with the wholesomeness, with the fullness of Donald Trump, is that will be relegated to the back pages, not to the front pages of his presidency, because people will see it as being purely political.
Absolutely. Craig Shirley, Doug Wead, have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll talk to you both soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
My friends are calling me all the time and writing me and saying, you've disappeared from television. We can't find you. We don't see you anymore. This is the only way we've figured out how to beat the censors. If you subscribe to this channel, hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell, you'll get notification when I'm on TV. Otherwise, you won't get my Instagrams, my messages on Facebook. It's censorship. So I want to hear from you. I want you to be able to hear from me.